Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Crystal with only our rivals team was actually a pretty fun run. Let's follow that up with a much harder one. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Red with a team of only Blaine's team and moveset? So you guys probably already know that Blaine is hilariously bad in Gen 1 because of his terrible AI. But have you ever actually taken a look at his team? He's got a Ponyta and a Rapidash who have literally the exact same moves, a Growlithe who has nothing good, and an Arcanine who has a Roar, a move that doesn't work in trainer battles in Gen 1. This moveset is shockingly terrible. I guess we've got to see if we can do better than he can with it. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm sure that I can win eventually, but the move variety is so awful that I'll probably have to massively overlevel so that I can beat water types with Takedown and Stomp. It's not like I'm gonna go beating Lance and our rival with just Fire Blast. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use moves and Pokemon that Blaine gets. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Charmander with Growlithe so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Charmander so that our rival would have Blastoise, probably the hardest for us to fight. So believe it or not, but the run hasn't really started yet. See, we don't actually start with any moves that Blaine has yet, but we get one reasonably early. Our first one is gonna be Ember, and that's resisted by Brock's rock types, so it's already not a great start. Basically, for the sake of keeping this challenge fair, we can't try to beat the first gym until we get one of Blaine's moves, and once we have that move, we can't use any non-Blaine moves for the rest of the run. Same goes for any future Pokemon that might not start with moves that Blaine has. We can use whatever they have to level them up a little until they have one of the correct moves. Anyway, this grind isn't horrible. We've for sure done worse before, but we don't get Ember until level 18, so this might take a while. It actually ends up taking a lot longer than expected. It was feeling like this was taking far longer than when I was leveling up my Spearow and my Peck run, so I decided to check, and yep, turns out Growlithe levels up slowly. Something seems weird about that. Why would Growlithe level slowly? It's a dog, they're pretty trainable. Just seems like a strange Pokemon to have require more experience, but that's gonna be an ongoing issue, I'm sure. I mean, it took 1,131 experience to go from level 17 to 18. I know that doesn't sound like a ton, but when you're grinding against bug Pokemon who give you just about 40 experience on average, it takes a while. Okay, once we get Ember, I go to the Rock Gym. It does a pretty great job, actually, and weirdly enough, it paid off that Blaine has Roar, since it meant that we got to waste time with Roar while Onix used Bide without having to risk us getting taken out in return. Now we can finally make some progress. So the travel to Mount Moon is thankfully much easier than the grind we just had to deal with. Ember is effective against basically everything here since bug Pokemon are still so common, and nobody's using water types anyway. In Mount Moon itself, there's a little more challenge, but I still go through the trouble of fighting whatever I can. Using a slow leveling Pokemon presents us an uphill battle the whole game, and considering that this Growlithe we're using right now is literally the only Pokemon on our team that will end up learning a single strong move, I need to invest as much experience as I can in him early, especially considering we don't even get the TM for that one strong move, Fire Blast, until after the Blaine fight, so the 7th gym leader. Until then, Takedown is our strongest move, and we don't even have it yet. We have a water gym coming up. We need every last level that we can get. On our way there, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Alright, so the rival fight. It started with us against Pidgeotto, and I thought we'd get away with an easy first attempt, but we got sand attacked near the end. That's not good. Abra was obviously easy, and Rattata nearly got one shot before hitting us with Hyper Fang. Against Squirtle, I kinda thought we'd just lose since he has water moves, but he literally just never used one. Not only that, but we burned him right away, so his tackles were doing just about nothing. It doesn't matter that we missed a bit, we still took him down. thanks for the softball. I ended up fighting every last trainer to the north though. We have a water gym next, and they have Bubble Beam. Either we hit level 30 to get takedown, or we're gonna have to beat Misty with Ember. I really don't see that happening, but we'll see what level we're at when we get there. Even with all the levels we got on our way there though, we didn't stand a chance at the water gym. We had an awful time with Staryu, so the Starmie obviously took us down. Maybe we should just do the SSN first. Alright, so the SSN also has some annoying water types to fight, but overall it's not too bad here. Really, we just need to pick up a few more levels so that we can learn Takedown, the strongest move that we'll have until Fire Blast. Unfortunately, Takedown both deals recoil damage and doesn't have perfect accuracy, so I wouldn't really call it reliable. Our terrible moveset is going to be a real handicap this run. Let's go do the rival fight before we leave for the water gym. Okay, so we had absolutely no excuse to lose this fight, but because of only one sand attack, we managed to miss like 3 or 4 takedowns in a row on a Wartortle. As soon as we hit one, we nearly one-shot him, but then Bubble was just too much for us. I know that was just horrible luck, but I absolutely had to show it to you because stuff like this happens so much more than you'd think. The very next try it goes a little bit better, but we both missed an Ember due to the 256 glitch, and got crit about 100 times. Seriously, there were so many crits that I had 1 health when we won the fight. That was so much harder than I expected. Once we got back to the water gym, we actually had a super easy time, but only because Starmie used an X-Defend instead of Bubble Beam. I don't think we'd have won if Misty was just a little bit smarter in that fight, so I go take a shot at the electric gym right after. Voltorb and Pikachu both go really well, although they do lower our defense and our attack, so Ember is really our only choice. Against Raichu, it started well with him using Thunder Shock, but his Thunderbolt did tons of damage. I thought we were doomed when the second Thunderbolt took us to only 11 health, but then he used Growl, so we just won. Why did he do that? Was he humoring me? Alright, it's pretty obvious that Rock Tunnel is going to be an issue. I mean, we're Fire type, and our best moves are Takedown and Ember, so I don't really know how we're going to beat the 2 Geodudes and a Graveler. Maybe their self-destruct will just be really weak. Wishful thinking. I can't even get new Pokemon until after Rock Tunnel either, so it's not like I can use them to absorb the explosions. I think I'm going to have to get as many levels as I can on my way there, and just hope that that's enough. Right, we're in Rock Tunnel, so now would be a great time for the Chimera ad. Oh, and I'll put a bunch of those fun Pokemon fusions that you guys tweeted at me a few weeks ago on the side of the screen. So, I kind of thought that I wasn't going to talk about their coats this summer because, well, you know, it's summer, but the day that I'm writing this, it is absolutely pouring rain, and I got soaked when I went to go take the garbage out this morning. What I should have done was grab my lightweight puffer jacket for men. I've got this one, it's super comfy. As any good puffer jacket should be, it's water resistant, so it does a pretty great job of keeping you warm and dry without feeling bulky or cumbersome to wear. A nice water resistant puffer jacket is a must-have if you live somewhere as miserable as I do. And judging from all the comments you leave me saying that you're from Southern Ontario, Canada, plenty of you do. So if you want a discount and to let them know that I sent you, use the code Mah-Dry-Bread at checkout. Thank you everybody for your support, now let's go expand the team. Real quick before I get the next Pokemon though, I'm sure all of you wanted to know how the Hiker fight went. Well, in spite of us going into the fight with less than half health, they only used Rock Throw once, so our health was alright. Kinda thought we'd lose when Graveler blew up, but we hung on with 4 health, so we got through Rock Tunnel nice and quick. Now that we're on the other side of Rock Tunnel, I go ahead and catch myself another Growlithe. I guess this will be the one that we keep as a Growlithe to match Blaine's. I doubt we'll use it much, considering it's gonna be worse than our original one that I'm planning on evolving, but we need this to complete the run. Next, I go to the Celadon Pokemart and buy up a Firestone just to use it right away on our original Growlithe. There aren't any more level up moves that he can use after all, so we may as well just take the big stat boost for evolving. Let's see if we're ready for the grass gym while we're in town. Well, that went well. We got poisoned by poison powder at the start, but that's really all they could do to us. I mean, we're using an Arcanine. I didn't exactly think the grass gym was going to be an issue. Alright, so at the Rocket Hideout, I decided to just clear the whole place out. Giovanni normally isn't an issue, but we're using all fire types, so it actually might be. I figured I can just brute force his rock types with Ember this time, but I might actually need Fire Blast for that to work on the next 2 fights. I'm thinking I get some levels here, take down Giovanni on our rival, then go straight after the Poison Gym. I doubt we could beat it yet, but the sooner we beat that, the sooner we can fight Blaine. On the actual Giovanni fight, they managed to hit us with Rock Throw, but it did almost nothing, since Onix is about as strong as a Pidgey. No joke, same attack stat. Super easy fight. And of course at the Pokemon Tower, our rival was easy. It's kinda weird to me that the Pokemon Tower rival fight is always so easy, when the very next rival fight at Silphco is usually so hard. Right, and for some reason I had it in my head that I was gonna go get the Ponyta here on Cycling Road, but it turns out that's only in yellow. We're gonna have to wait until we get to the Pokemon Mansion. Okay, well, there's only one gym stopping us from getting there, so wish me luck. Koga starts with Coughing, who was a one-shot with a critical Ember, and second is Muck, who takes a lot less damage. Weirdly, he spends his first 2 turns using X-Attack, then just used Minimize. It makes our next Ember miss, but he hit Disable before we took him down. Another Coughing is out, and this one just missed Smog before we 2-shot him. Last was Wheezing, and he used an X-Attack and then blew up, but we actually hung on. Not that it mattered, even if he took us out, we had more Pokemon, so that's Koga done. With the Poison Gym taken care of, we can catch our other 2 Pokemon. I went ahead and surfed over to Cinnabar Island to catch a couple of Ponyta. One will stay a Ponyta, and the other will evolve into Rapidash. But either way, they'll both have the exact same moveset because Blaine is weird like that. Again, we're probably only going to invest in the one that's going to evolve, if anything. It's better to have 2 evolved Pokemon that are a higher level than 4 Pokemon all at a lower level, especially when the 2 that are staying first form don't get any better moves than the evolved ones. I'll just get them both to level 39 so their movesets are right, evolve one, then invest in it in Arcanine. Mostly Arcanine. Now, are we ready for the mirror match with Blaine? I feel like I need to start spamming Super Potions on full health Pokemon to get warmed up. He starts with Growlithe, who goes down to a sliver from Takedown, used Agility, but was still slower than us, so we finished him off with Ember. For Ponyta, we missed Takedown, got hit by Tail Whip, missed Takedown again, they missed us in return, then we crit for a one-shot. Rapidash went down in 2 takedowns, but between recoil damage and Stomp, we were pretty hurt. Last was Arcanine, and we trade takedowns just for us to faint. That's really not good. I decided to send in our higher level Ponyta to spam Tail Whip, and it worked pretty well, because Arcanine used Roar 7 times in a row. The only break he took was to use a Super Potion, because of course. I want to remind you that Roar doesn't do anything in trainer battles. I've never seen him waste that much time before. This was insane. We still lost when he decided to use real moves, but I can't believe what's going on. I'll just try this again and use Tail Whips from Ponyta earlier. Second try, things go basically the same until Arcanine, although we have slightly less health on our Arcanine now. I sent in Ponyta right away and got 2 Tail Whips in before fainting. He's just not spamming Roar this time. I sent in our other Ponyta hoping to soften him up a little bit, but he just used a bunch of Super Potions, so it really didn't do much. Once we sent in our Arcanine, we missed Takedown, he used Roar, we crit Takedown to almost faint him, he used Roar again, then we finished him off. Blaine is inexcusably bad. Okay, so Silphco. We have Fire Blast now that we beat Blaine, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident than before, but the rival here is always a problem. That and our other Pokemon are all still super behind. More and more I'm realizing that this is mostly just gonna be up to Arcanine to brute force our way through. It's really Blaine's only passable Pokemon. I really wish there was an experience share in Gen 1 so that I could use this place to level up our lower leveled Pokemon easier, but that wasn't till Gen 2, so I may as well just switch train him. Hey, Blastoise doesn't get Hydro Pump until the final fight, right? At least I think? Maybe if we can outspeed and one-shot Alakazam with Takedown, then the rival fight wouldn't be too bad. Pidgeot only landed a very weak wing attack on Arcanine before going down, and second was his Growlithe, who was just a one-shot. Execute couldn't handle our critical Ember, and Alakazam was thankfully a one-shot with Takedown. Last was Blastoise, who only used Withdraw, so we took him out in 2 Fire Blasts. Easy fight, but Blastoise is gonna be an issue soon. I don't like that Fire Blast only took him to exactly half health. Giovanni right after ended up being super easy. Even his Rhyhorn got overpowered by Fire Blast. I'm not really sure if the ground gym will be as easy though. It's not like he has loads of good ground moves, but it still could be an issue if we're not faster than Dugtrio. On our way out of town, I went after the Psychic Gym just to totally mop the floor with our whole team. I feel like we're finally hitting a point where our lackluster moveset isn't holding us back quite as much thanks to Arcanine just being so strong. Still, never rule out me losing thanks to Takedown missing. Think I can win at the ground gym? Well, as it turns out, I can! I was kinda worried about Dugtrio, but we ended up just one-shotting him with takedowns and Fire Blasts was enough for everything else, although we didn't get many one-shots. Still, strong move with a strong Pokemon. I get the feeling that it won't be enough once we get to the Elite Four, though. Before that, second from last rival fight. First was Pidgeot, who did a bit of damage before going down to Fire Blast and Takedown. Second was Rhyhorn, who was actually a one-shot with Fire Blast. And third was Growlithe, who was a one-shot with Takedown. Execute survived Ember, but then wasted his turn using a regular potion, so he went down fine. Alakazam was a one-shot with Takedown, but our health was getting a little bit low from all the recoil damage. Blastoise started great when he kept going for Withdraw over and over, but thanks to a missed Fire Blast, he ended up surviving with a sliver of health, well burned, and finished us off with Hydro Pump. Blastoise doesn't take burn damage on rounds where he gets the knockout, so I just started sending in the rest of our massively underleveled team until he missed a Hydro Pump and was taken down by his burn. That was way too close. Alright, with that victory we can get to the Elite Four, but I have to grind loads first. None of our Pokemon but Arcanine actually have all of the right moves yet, and more importantly, we need to seriously grind up Arcanine. Weirdly enough, both the Ponyta and Growlithe learned their last required moves at level 39, so I'm just getting them up to that. I mean, other than the one that needs to hit level 40 to evolve, obviously. The next major fight we have is Lorelei, and although fire is good against ice, she uses plenty of strong water types as well. This takes pretty brutally long since Arcanine levels slowly, as we went over earlier in the run. Genuinely though, it's our only Pokemon that can deal decent damage, and considering the best move Rapidash ever learns is Stomp, it's basically just up to Arcanine. I earned a plug with this huge grind session, right? Them's the rules? I'll just take this time to let you know that we're nearing the end of the game in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Let's Play. I'm thinking that we'll do some post-game stuff after we beat it, then move on to another Pokemon game. Maybe Pokemon Stadium 2? Maybe the next Mystery Dungeon? Not sure yet, but I should have time to record more Mystery Dungeons sometime soon. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our team. Arcanine has some pretty awesome stats for his level, but he's the only one with decent moves, so it's pretty much just up to him. To be honest, I still don't think I can beat Lorelei yet, but it's worth a shot. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. Her Dugong is up first and he's part ice, so I tried for Ember. The first one crit for great damage, but then he just used Rest to heal. Alright, well I tried more Embers while he was asleep, but we were only dealing about a quarter of his health and damage. I tried to finish it with Takedown just to miss and have him use Rest again. Okay, well I took him down in his sleep, but we took recoil damage because of it. Cloyster is a physical tank, so I went with Fire Blast to one-shot him, and third was Slowbro. This one had me worried because of Gen 1 amnesia, but it started great with him using Withdraw a bunch. It did weaken our takedown though, so we had to switch to Ember. After a Super Potion and a burn, Slowbro finally started using Water Gun, and that actually took quite a bit of our health out before we could make him faint. Jinx survived Ember. I knew I should have used Takedown instead. It's okay, her Thrash didn't do much before we took her down. Last was Lapras, and it's got Hydro Pump, so I just went for Fire Blast. It did great damage, then she missed her Hydro Pump. Right after, we missed our Fire Blast and I thought it was over, but then she missed Hydro Pump again! We actually got the win on Lorelei. I hope I never have to do that again, because that was a lucky win. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. Onix was a one-shot with Fire Blast, Hitmonchan was a one-shot with Takedown, as was Hitmonlee right after. The second Onix went down in one Fire Blast, and so did the Machamp at the end. At least that was easy. Third was Ghost Trainer Agatha. First was Gengar, who could have been a problem, but he used Dream Eater while we were awake, so 2 Fire Blasts did the job. For Golbat, I tried using Takedown to save on power points just to get confused and hit ourselves thanks to the Confuse Ray. But then he used Haze, so we stopped being confused. I mean, we still missed takedown, but the next one hit for the feint. Hunter went down to Fire Blast and Ember, but man, did he ever do a lot of damage with Nightshade first. I went for Fire Blast on Arbok for the one-shot, knowing that I couldn't afford the recoil damage anymore. Last was her final Gengar, but we ended up critting for a one-shot. I'm thankful for that. I was petrified of being put to sleep right at the end. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Lance. It starts with Water Onix, and I thought I'd lose right away, but he actually missed his Hydro Pump, so our 2 takedowns actually made him faint. That was super lucky. As the first Dragonair came out, I realized I can't one-shot them with takedown. That's not good. Thanks to that, we took a Hyper Beam. The second Dragonair got to use Agility thanks to us missing our first takedown, and nailed Dragon Rage to take us to red health before we made him faint. Against Aerodactyl, I was about ready to have a heart attack when I went from 100% sure I'd lose, to thinking I'd win after critting a Fire Blast that burned him, to thinking I'd lose again when he used a Hyper Potion and takedown, just for us to survive. Then we missed Fire Blast, he missed Hyper Beam, we missed takedown, and then he finally finished us. Considering all he had to do was crit Bite to one-shot Rapidash from full health, we just need Arcanine to be stronger. Okay, next try at level 70. I've got to show you this failed attempt just so you know how they usually go. We crit takedown, he uses a Hyper Potion, we crit takedown again, then his Hydro Pump took us to a Sliver. Between Recoil and Hydro Pump, we almost fainted on the first Pokemon. This happens more often than you'd think. 4 tries later and we get another beautiful run where Hydro Pump missed, so we actually stood a chance. Things went more or less the exact same all the way till Aerodactyl, with us going into that fight with slightly more health than before. This time we just one-shot it with a critical Fire Blast. I'm so happy that crits are common in Gen 1. Against Dragonite, our first Fire Blast did about 1/3 of his health and damage as he missed Slam, then our second one took out another third as he used Agility. After that, we nailed Takedown for the win. Finally, some progress. At last, the Pokemon champion. Pidgeot went down in 1 critical Fire Blast right away, although I'm not sure the crit was necessary. Against Alakazam, we missed Takedown twice, but it didn't matter because he used Recover with full health. Twice. Third round, we landed a hit to make him faint. Rhydon tanked the Fire Blast and hit Leer, but he got burned in the process. I tried to finish it with Ember, but he hung on, tail whipped, and was taken down by Burn, so we're down 2 stages of defense. His Arcanine lost half his health to take down, he used Roar, then we finished him with another takedown. Executor was, of course, a one-shot with Fire Blast, and last was Blastoise. We hit Fire Blast right away, but only did about 1/3 of his health and damage. He used Withdraw, then we missed our second Fire Blast, so he used Withdraw again. Our third Fire Blast hit and burned him, but then he managed to hit a massive Hydro Pump to take us all the way down to red health. Next round, we managed to hit the final Fire Blast to get the knockout. You know what? That wasn't horrible. Well, that run was dumb, but that's kind of what I expected. Blaine's team was shockingly bad outside of Arcanine, and really the only reason we had any kind of success was because Fire Blast is a great move. Outside of that, we had nothing. Takedown is both weaker than Double Edge and misses all the time. I can't think of any reason why I'd use that move unless I was forced to, like in this run. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, when I get around to finally doing the much-requested Dunsparce Challenge. I'm thinking I'll start in Fire Red so that we actually get to use his fun ability. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments in the challenge request section of my Discord channel and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Not much to talk about in the outro today. I woke up late today, so it's been a bit of a scramble to get everything done. I'm hoping to get more Mystery Dungeon recorded this week. Hopefully this week. I mean, I'm saying this week. By the time this video airs, that means it would have already gone up if I recorded it this week, considering I'd probably also edit it this week. I mean, assuming I have time, waking up late really sucks for that. It happens, though. As much as I absolutely love my cats, Sabu and Rocky, there's about like once a month or so where they just decide that they must battle the entire night, chase each other all over the bed and stuff, and just make sure that I can't sleep. But any of you with cats just already know how that is. Either way, I'm very busy after losing those 2 hours that I should have been working to instead sleeping. I'm gonna go make myself some lunch real quick, then get back to work. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.